لكن تحديت الظروف وخضتها وحدي صبورا مستعينا بالصلاة. كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي، كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أساه محن تمر، وكم كرهت مصابها.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله. Hope everyone is well. Had a blessed Eid. Ramadan has come and gone, subhanallah al-azim, and everyone that I've spoken to has emphasized how fast that this month has passed, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to witness another Ramadan. Allahumma. Yasir Qadhi in the last 5 or 10 years has directed or steered the understanding of Western Muslims to a more liberalized, watered down version of Islam. You would have noticed Yasir Qadhi's stances have become somewhat diluted over this particular period. I would call Yasir Qadhi the Martin Luther of the modern Muslim world. Anyone who's had a cursory reading of the life of Martin Luther would know he challenged the status quo in Christian Europe, which was dominated by Catholicism, and he founded his own church of Protestantism, and those who followed him were Protestants. Now, Yasir Qadhi is the Muslim version of Martin Luther. He is the Muslim Protestant. And what is Protestantism, right? Linguistically. So as you can see on screen, the adjective Protestant describes a person or thing that is protesting or displaying disapproval or objection. You might see Protestant young students marching in front of the Capitol in reaction to the government's new passed bill. So that's what Protestantism is. It's a form of protest, objection, and whatnot. And Yasir Qadhi is a Protestant bima'an al-kalima. Yasir Qadhi is a typical Desi Pakistani who has inferiority complexity to the West. And now he wants to conform Islam and change Islam and modernize Islam to the 21st century for Western secularized standards. And that's the harsh truth. Where's my proof? Listen to a few videos that I'll play of Yasir Qadhi.
You asked me, does Islam preach that those who leave the faith should be executed? The response is, indeed, Islamic law did have that doctrine. I'm not sugarcoating it. The question is, does that doctrine...
Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate your honesty. The people in there like to hear.
I want to finish. Can you please finish? I want to hear what he says.
The question is, are modern Muslims required to keep that part of the law, or can we fine-tune and modify? That is an ongoing discussion that is taking place, and many Muslim theologians of our times are actually saying that that particular law can be modified in light of modern circumstances, just like many issues of Judaism and Christianity were also modified over time.
Yasir Qadhi mentioned, can modern Muslims, put that in brackets, can modern Muslims keep that part of the law, or can they fine-tune and modify? That's an ongoing discussion amongst Muslim theologians. Who's having this discussion, by the way, Yasir Qadhi? Who's having this discussion? I know no backbone, hunchback, enslaved, colonized Desis like yourself are having these discussions with your colleagues and amigos who are also liberal modernists that want to fine-tune Islamic law. As far as your position, which you clearly mentioned, which is shocking, that said that that particular law can be modified by the modern circumstances, just like many issues of Judaism and Christianity were also modified over time. I'd like to ask Yasir Qadhi, modern Muslims are having this discussion about modifying and fine-tuning the law. You also mentioned that this is an ongoing discussion amongst Muslim theologians. Who was having this discussion, by the way? Unless you could present names, then we can go back to these so-called mashayikh and say, who the hell are you to so-called change that law? That law is in place. It's from the authentic sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And I'll just go into Imam Shafi'i, right? Oh, but he's not modern, he's medieval. Yeah, you know backbone individuals, especially in across the pond. Imam Shafi'i, volume 3, page 580, go check it out, right? Go check it out. It's all there. different, what's it called? It's Kitab al-Hudud. Kitab al-Hudud. The all Hudud needs to be changed or just a specific had, right? Verses in the Quran. Does that need to be changed as well? Kitab al-Hudud, Yasir Qadhi, okay? Mr. Self amazed with himself. This is having, we're having ongoing discussion. Kitab al-Hudud, Habibi. Kitab al by Imam Shafi'i, one of the Imams of the 4 madhabs. And I don't need to go into the Ahnaf, I'm Hanafi myself. So, we're having this ongoing discussion. Martin Luther, you're a Protestant, mate. You're a Protestant. You are the Martin Luther of the Muslim world. Right? Okay, let's carry on. Also, you said, and I'll put it on screen for you, Yasir Qadhi mentioned, stoning adulterer is problematic, somewhat bizarre. It is a scare tactic. Its medieval Islamic law should be updated and modernized. And it's from this YouTube link here.
As I see the crowd in front of us, there are hundreds of Orthodox rabbis, thousands of Jewish people. These are our brethren. These are our brethren. They are the real followers of Moses. They are the ones who make the children of Israel proud.
I beg your pardon. They are the true followers of Moses. Not according to Islamic doctrine, they're not. Of course not. Where do you get this from? And you see how passionate he is. Wallah al-Azim. You see how passionate he is. Oh, Uncle Tom, honestly. We have our honourable brother, Dr. Talha Abdul Razak, responded by saying, I've seen people excusing Yasir Qadhi by saying he meant brethren in the wider humanity sense. Yet this is obviously not the case, as he says they are the true followers of Moses. According to Islamic creed, the Muslims are the true inheritors and the followers of Moses. And that's from Dr. Talha. So Yasir Qadhi is the Martin Luther of the Muslim world. The Muslim Protestant. Yasir Qadhi is the Muslim Protestant. And let's be frank, right? He comes to the UK, charges X amount for a course, these Al-Baruj and Al-Miftah, all of these individuals, and that, he should be shunned. Let's be frank, right? Tafsir Ibn Kathir, he brings an athar for Sufyan bin Uyayna, and he mentions a very important point. As you can see on screen, we got Tafsir Ibn Kathir, Subhanallah al-Azim. And he mentioned that Sufyan ibn Uyayna said, whoever is corrupt from our scholars, he has similarities like the Yahud. And whoever is corrupt from our worshippers, he has traits or similarities like the Nasara. Okay? And then he presents the hadith, as per the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that you will follow the ways of the people before you, handspan by handspan, and there's different variations of it. And then they asked who the Jews and the Christians, and he goes, who else? And then in another riwayat, Faris wal Rum, the Persians and the Romans, qala woman. And then An-Nas ila ha'ula. And obviously the people except those people. So come back to me. So this is Yasir Qadhi in a nutshell. He loves the Banu Asfar, he loves the Romans, he loves the Western civilization, and he wants to conform Islam to make out that certain practices within where he is from, or the West in general, conforms to Islam, and he's trying to fit Islam into this category. And it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen with all due respect. See if you're able to create your own denomination of Muslim Protestantism. Okay, let's see. All right, Martin Luther, take it easy, son. So take care of yourself. Sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.
ليس الغريب غريب الشام واليمن إن الغريب غريب اللحد والكفن إن الغريب له حق لغربته على المقيمين في الأوطان والسكن سفر بعيد وزاد لن يبلغني وقوتي ضعفت والموت يطلبني ما أحلم الله عني حيث أمهلني وقد تماديت في ذنبي ويسترني تمر ساعة